Welcome to the GangboX Podcast, episode 13. We talk about all things construction, all things union, all things Vegas, all things Southern Nevada building trades. Special guest. This was my turn to pick a guest.
Yeah.
I picked my buddy.
One didn't show up.
I picked my buddy, Keith Welch. What's up, Keith?
Morning, guys. Morning.
He's been doing the rounds on the podcasts. It's
Yeah.
kind of a big deal.
Keith is a big deal.
And
Look
if
at
you're
him.
not watching, he has a magnificent mustache if you're just listening.
See this thing right here?
Look into that
I
right
woke up
there.
early just to do it for you guys.
Yeah, bro. 7 o'clock Sunday morning.
So I'm excited about this episode. We're going to be talking about some stuff that I find is super important to me. Very proud of we're dropping shit over there. Very proud of the stuff that the building trades is doing around this topic. And the people in this room kind of got the ball rolling. So Keith, why don't you kind of introduce yourself, let everyone know who you are, what you do, and then we'll kind of jump into some of the stuff that the building trades does, yeah?
Hell yeah. Let's do it.
Appreciate you guys inviting me out here. Thanks. My name's Keith Welch. I'm the business agent for Local 669. Sprinkler fitters out here in District 25, which is Las Vegas, Nevada. So I believe we're going to talk about like mental health and substance abuse, which is a big deal for me. My sobriety date is November 7th, 2005. And I don't know, I represent 390 sprinkler fitters in Las Vegas, and we have about 70 retirees, so about 320 in Vegas right now. The big thing I think we're trying to talk about is the recovery committee out here in Vegas, and that was something that Daniel and I and Vince came up with. It wasn't an easy task, but we knew that substance abuse and mental health is a big deal in Las Vegas on these job sites and with construction workers. So I think that let's get it started.
Yeah, so, I mean, when I became the business agent, I was already in recovery, right? My sobriety date is August 21st, 2011. And I know I took the job with the intent of trying to help as many people as I could. That was one of the motivating factors in me taking the position. But I got in this position and realized there's a lot of shit I have to do, and I kind of let the job take over and distract me from one of the things that I thought I should have been doing, which is bringing recovery, whether it's mental health recovery or substance abuse disorder recovery, to the membership. And I knew Keith before either one of us were business agents. We were just field guys when I met Keith many years ago, and we were both in recovery. Keith is one of the first people I met in my recovery, and then life kind of found us both in this business agent position, and we thought, I'll go to the beginning. So I was in a conference in Boston, and I went to a meeting, an anonymous meeting, and someone told me, hey, there's a really good one at this meeting. They're like, hey, tomorrow on Sunday, that's the best meeting in all of Boston. And I'm like, okay, the conference starts Sunday night, so I had all Sunday day. This was a Sunday morning meeting, so I show up to this meeting, and they have this recovery meeting. It's in the sheet metal union hall. And I thought, God, that's awesome, dude. They have like this recovery meeting. I walk in there, and it's packed. There's 100 people in there, construction workers, attorneys, and I saw the guy who invited me to it. He like waved me down from the other side of the room, and he's like, hey, you made it. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, so all the construction guys sit over here. That row right there, that's the judges. There's judges that sit there. And I go, oh, that's cool. And he goes, and over there in the corner, that's where Marty sits. And I'm like, Marty? And he's like, yeah, Marty Walsh. At the time, he was the Secretary of Labor for the United States. Yeah, and I'm like, are you kidding me? So, I came back to Vegas. The first person I reached out to was my good buddy Keith Welch. We'd been in recovery together for a long time. I was like, man, how do we do something like that? And then Vince, we go to Vince, and why don't you share like what were your thoughts when Keith and I came to you and said, hey, we want to do like a recovery committee, because we have an organizing committee, we have a women's committee, we
have a apprenticeship
committee. Like, hey, could we do a committee for like recovery? And share your thoughts on kind of how you took that?
Yeah, dude. It was almost 2 years ago now. Yeah. I remember I didn't care. I was like, yeah, dude, if you guys want to do it, do it. Like, I just wanted people to be a part of building trades. I wanted building trades and its affiliates to them just to be a part of, like, right? Like make the ultimate union with all the other unions. And essentially, so when you guys came up to me, I remember thinking like, I don't know shit about this. I don't care. Like whatever you guys want to do, like you guys run it and I'll support it. Right. Yep. And once you guys explained the concept of like the committee to me, because people just automatically assumed it was going to be a 12-step program, which it's not. Our recovery committee is not a 12-step program. It's trying to get people fucking sober. And a lot of people who don't understand sobriety just automatically was like, oh, recovery, they must be getting people sober. They're going to talk to them about God. Like, what the fuck? No. and I was like, it's fucking crazy. And when you guys explained the concept, which when I remember, I was drinking a lot back then. So from what I remember was like, hey, we want to create a committee, bring in people just like the other committees from all the different unions to talk about what their healthcare programs, like their EAPs, their BHOs, all their the things that we already pay for out of through our insurances, what they have to offer, right? Where the mental health, substance abuse, all that shit. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. I don't. And the thing is, dude, nobody knows about it. Everyone just thinks that you're gonna get fired if you say you're an alcoholic or if you're a drug addict or I'm gonna fucking murder somebody or kill myself. So I was like, yeah, man, like whatever you guys think, because I didn't know shit about it. And we're all scared to use our EAPs because we think that they're just going to get us fired and it's just a crutch, right? So when you guys told me all this shit, I remember I was excited. We did a couple meetings and I was like, I was the only one who wasn't sober at first. And you guys were like, no, we need not sober people.
Yeah. The committee itself was wild. Until we were getting it wrapped up.
Yeah, dude. And I was like, okay, so we need people who aren't sober. Like, I'll be that guy. I love to fucking drink. And I was fucking partying, a menace, dude. And I would tell the other managers, or we'd be at meetings and I'd be like, oh, the recovery committee's great, dude. It's actually, I think Daniel's going to do good, and Keith. And I'd be having like an old fashioned in my hand, and it's like fucking, they would look at the old fashioned. I'm like, I ain't the one with the fucking problem, guys. Like, we keep looking, like, and that's when I was like, it's not a 12-step program. Because they were like, yeah, what kind of 12-step program you working on? So it was crazy, bro. But it was effective. I remember thinking of the vision, we're like, okay, what are we going to do? Right. Like, we're going to create stickers. It's just going to be another do nothing committee. Yeah. But that's the blessing. And just saying it out loud is none of our committees are do nothing committees, bro. All of our fucking committees are all active, bro. They're all fucking good.
Well, and when you're starting a committee and you're like, okay, we're going to start this committee. All right, who wants to be on it? And then we get people that volunteer, and then you have a meeting and you all get together. You're like, all right, what are we doing? You know, because we have no history, right? We don't know.
We had to start. To start like an organization inside the committee, right? Yeah. Stickers, shirts, banners. Who's going to talk to the certain contractors? Who's going to reach out to the general contractors? Yeah. You know, and we all had to create who had the most, who had the best repertoire with certain contractors, or who was a superintendent for a contractor, stuff like that, so we can get out there. And actually, we have on May 9th, I actually have a schedule for Bombard Mechanical invited us to their safety stand down. Hell yeah. So that's another thing we do is, you know, the job safety stand down. So we had a recovery committee night, right? Or a recovery. A recovery night, right? Yeah. So we had Darren Waller, Max Crosby came out and shared about, you know, their mental health and their substance abuse, and how they get away with or get along with, you know, actually being in the NFL doing their sobriety. But then we started doing the job safety stand downs. That was a big thing that you learned back there with the dude from New York.
Yeah.
Because he was doing big job safety stand downs, and now. We didn't really know how to do that either. We were like, oh, we got to buy speakers and microphones.
What's the agenda going to be? What are we going to talk about? Are we going to
raffle off T-shirts? And truthfully, like, we didn't even get in the way. Like, Penta reached out to us. You know, they're doing a job safety stand-up. They literally just called us, invited us out. Like, we just stayed out of the way, and eventually it came to what it is, tuition to today what it is, you know?
Yeah.
But... let's talk about the safety stand down, like what we talk about when we go.
Yeah, so like when the committee came together and we're like, all right, what are we gonna do? And we're like, okay, well, let's make stickers. Let's just like you just said, let's do this. And it's like, yeah, but what's our goal? Like, what are we trying to accomplish? The end goal is to try to get our members the help that they need, right? So we've discovered like, okay, the goal is to get help to the members that need the help. How do we do that, right? What do we do? Well, they got to know about the help. Right. And they got to know that there even is help that exists. And it's like, okay, well, how do we do that? Well, we need to talk to them where they're at. we realize that these contractors, all these big jobs, have safety stand downs. They usually do it weekly, right? So let's say every Monday morning, the whole job goes to one location and they talk about ladder safety. And whenever it gets hot, they talk about water and they talk about stretching, like anything that has to do with safety. We're like, well, that's the perfect time to talk about it. So let's do some safety stand downs where we show up and the topic is going to be mental health and substance abuse, and the resources that we have. And, we just kind of showed up, and however many of us show up, it's always different. Like maybe there's 2, maybe there's 5, maybe there's 6, right? Whoever from the committee, because the committee was also strategically made up of like rank and file people and also union staff, so agents and organizers. Because if it's all just rank and file, they all have jobs Monday morning, right? That they have their own thing that they have to be at. But if it's all just staff, it's just people who are kind of being paid and directed to be there by their business manager usually, and there's not enough passion in the room. You need the rank and file. And so, it's awesome when we do a safety stand down and the reps and organizers show up and there's 2 or 3 committee members that are actually on that job.
On the job.
And then they get to come sit up with us. And we basically are educating the membership that 1, there is a problem that none of us are talking about. And it's mental health and substance abuse. 2, there is a solution to that problem. And we have it. And this is where you find it. This is how you get it. And 3, if you are struggling, you can talk to your union and your union has your back, right? And so that's the message. It comes out different every single time because—
Talk about the QR code that we created, right?
Yeah.
So nobody, I don't think any other building trades, let's be honest, has a QR code that we created through all of our locals, that when you scan the QR code, it actually goes to everyone's MAP and EAP programs, right? And it's like a secret. Nobody knows about it. You scan the QR code, it goes to Southern Nevada Building Trades, it goes to your union, you click your union, and it'll show all the programs you have for mental health and substance abuse, right? Like, let's talk about that, because I don't think anyone really even knows before we created this that they had this stuff,
No,
right?
nobody knew, bro. And I remember Edon was telling me, he was like, after our first safety stand down, bro, I remember looking and we had something like 100 hits on the fucking website, because you could like track. You don't know who's looking at it, but
Right.
you
You can
see
track
how many
the hits.
people, how many hits. And now, bro, that QR code that Keith's talking about is the most viewed fucking page in on our website, right? We have more members checking their EAP programs than people wanting to get into the fucking apprenticeship. How
Right.
wild is that, bro?
And EAP, for anyone listening that doesn't know, EAP is the Employee Assistance Program, or MAP, Member Assistance Program. So usually employers will have an EAP, your unions will have an MAP. And all that is the portion of your health insurance that deals with mental health and substance abuse. And so for a lot of programs, like I know for mine, it's free, right? You can go there, you can get a counselor, you can get into a rehabilitation center, and it costs you nothing. And when the committee first formed, we're like, well, how can we track our progress? Like, how do we know we're making a difference? Because it's tough to track. Like, you save someone's life, you've just saved someone's life.
Yeah,
Someone's
they're not gonna
dad,
come up
someone's
with-
mom.
Yeah.
dude.
But you can't like mark that on a tally. Like, we don't have a list of lives we've saved, right, to know that it's working. And so one metric that we could look at is the utilization of the MAPs and the EAPs. And so I reached out to mine and I'm like, are you guys tracking like how much we're using it? And she goes, yeah. It's called the utilization report, and everyone has one. And I'm like, well, great. How does that look? And she goes, well, it's a percentage. And I go, okay, what's mine? And she goes, well, 1% of your members utilize the EAP. And I'm like, 1%. Now I know my membership pretty well. More than 1% needs the EAP. You know what I mean?
Same here.
And so
Same here.
More than 1% could use it.
yes,
Right.
yes.
And so I started reaching out to the other locals, and I'm like, hey, give me your utilization reports. And they were all very similar, between 0.5% to 1.5%. And it's like, we need those numbers up. We need people utilizing this resource.
We pay for it.
Yes.
The member pays for it. The contractor pays for it. It's part of our package. Like, and we don't use it. We go to the dentist. We go get our physical. We get our checkups. We get all that. But we don't even use what's going to save ours or our family's lives.
Yeah.
It could be for our kids. It could be for our wife. Anything. I mean, it is there for us, the membership.
And dude, I know that obviously we all got fucking brothers and sisters on the job sites that will give us the inside scoop on what the fuck. Because I'll ask all the time, bro, every job that I leave. And it's not just iron workers. You guys know I know everyone in all the different crafts. We all know people outside of our fucking crafts. And I'll be like, hey, what'd you fucking think? Like, how do you think the safety stand-down meeting went? They're all good. And, you know, it's funny, dude, because a lot of guys will talk shit like, oh, these guys are in here fucking sharing their feelings.
Pansies, yeah.
And it's starting to become normal where guys are like, bro, maybe you should fucking call a therapist and get some fucking help. If you got a problem with these dudes coming here trying to save lives, the fuck is your problem?
Yeah.
Right? And it's fucking changing, bro. And I'm only going to talk about us here, dude, in Nevada. Like, we are fucking changing lives. We are changing. I at the A's ballpark, when we went and spoke at that one, I think I told you there was a fucking random plumber, dude, guy I've never met in my fucking life. Came up to me and he was like, hey, bro, I follow the podcast. I follow you guys. It's dope. I don't know this motherfucker. Like, I have no clue who this dude is. I couldn't pick him out in a lineup today. Like, and he's like, you guys are fucking making sobriety look cool, bro. He goes, I never thought anybody could make sobriety look cool. He's like, you guys are just a bunch of fucking dudes who come out and talk. And I'm like, bro, that's the thing. You don't look at the way we look at the way we talk, look at our fucking jobs, look at the fathers we are. We don't have to fucking really change that much on the outside appearance or anything to fucking be sober, bro. Yeah. It's wild. And us carrying that message to the job site, I don't know any other fucking building trades. I don't know any other union in the fucking country that does it. Now, I'm sure there's some that are out there. That doesn't mean that because I don't know they don't exist. Right. I just don't fucking know any. And it feels good to change slowly. And it's not that I am changing the culture. You guys aren't. We, as a building trades, are changing the fucking culture in construction. And people are talking more and more about the mental health piece of it. It's not just the sobriety piece, bro. A lot of guys are like, I'm not getting sober. Like, motherfucker, I'm not telling you to get sober.
Yeah, you may not be me. Like, the thing is if you have something going on up here that thinks you might be me, get it checked out. Yeah. Call. They literally we have MD. You can call and like do a Zoom, dude. You don't have to go to a doctor. Like, you could do it in your own closet where you're used to getting spun out anyways. You know what I mean? Go hide in the bathroom where you're used to being. Yeah. Go in the porta potty. Do whatever you got to do. It's no one knows. Well, when you use it,
right? And we've developed a culture of suck it up, shut your mouth. Don't be a bitch. Yep. Deal with your shit. And I've even seen recently, like a lot of these influencers on Instagram, these dudes that promote that. You're a man. Don't go to therapy. Don't fucking And that is what's driving the epidemic. We're not creating a solution for a problem that doesn't exist.
It's been there.
We're finally trying to create a solution for something that has not only existed, but is escalating. The amount of construction workers that die by suicide and die by overdose is staggering. It is fucking staggering. It is such a serious problem. So that old mentality of just shut the fuck up, do your job, be a man, and quit your bitching is killing us.
You can still do. Here's the thing. Not to cut you off. I'm sorry, but I have my fucking thoughts and theories, and they're just mine. That doesn't mean they're fucking right, okay? Just last time I said that, I got fucking attacked. However, fucking, I will say, dude, shut the fuck up and do your job. Suck it up, yes. Yeah. But know that there's an outlet, too. Don't fucking cry to the guys at work about your fucking feelings unless you feel really comfortable.
Sure. Yeah.
So yes, bro, don't be a fucking crybaby at work. Don't do those things. You're 100% correct, and I think the definition of what that means needs to change.
Sure.
Yes, still show up every day and on time.
Of course.
Suck it the fuck up if you're whatever.
You're in the industry for a reason.
Yes. But there is fucking help, dude. Yes. Talk to people. Talk to the professional. Don't talk to the guy who's fucking...
Who's already eating your lunch. Yeah.
Right. If you go and tell the guy next to you that your old lady's fucking cheating on you and shit, he's going to laugh at you. And then he's probably going to go and try to fucking...
And that's the cool part about the committee, right? Is we show up and we tell them. And even the contractors say, hey, these guys are going to hang back for 20, 30 minutes. If you see them, go give them a shout, right? And that's us. Right. So that's the cool part too, is if you find someone, like for me, I just got a text message yesterday from a member. He's got 4 months sober.
Dope.
And I got another text message from another member that has 7 months sober. And he didn't get that from me. He reached out to me and I sent him the program. I sent him the QR code. He went to the MEP or the MAP program and he got his own help. Right. But he reached out to me. He didn't talk to, the superintendent on the job. He didn't talk to the foreman. He asked me for the help, and I showed him the help, and he took advantage of it, right? There's nothing that I did.
Right.
Absolutely nothing I did. No pat on the back. Literally, he's paid for what he took advantage of. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. To Vince's point.
You saved your own life.
We're not asking you to have feeling circles on the job site where you guys all circle up, right? That is not what's happening here. But to understand that there are resources outside of your job site. And when the members see the head of the building trades, the business agent for the glazers, the business agent for the operators, the business
plumbers.
agent for the plumbers, all in recovery, all saying, hey, we understand if you are struggling, there is an outlet. Here's where the resources is. They're seeing their union leaders talk about issues that are killing them. And it's like a breath of fresh air. When we do those safety stand downs, you could hear a fucking pin drop.
Yeah.
Yes.
When we're up
absolutely.
there talking, you should see all of these tough, strong, manly men
and women
are engaged. They are listening because they recognize the problem, and it's almost as if, like, in their mind, it's like, oh, finally someone's talking about this. Because one of the things I say to them all the time is, if I asked everyone, sometimes like we do some penta, there's 100 construction workers out there.
Fuck yeah.
And we say, if you've been affected by mental health issues or substance abuse, whether it's you, your kid, your spouse, your parents, if I asked you to raise your hand if you've been affected, every single fucking hand would go up. Everyone has been affected some way, even if it's not you, but someone that you love or someone that's close to you. You've been affected by it. But we don't talk about it, right? If you rolled your fucking ankle and your ankle was swollen, it was hurting, these guys, they'll tell everybody, my ankle's fucked up, right? My elbow's fucked up, my back hurts, right? We hear that all day long. There's no issue with that, right? But when you start talking about what's going on between our ears, all of a sudden it's taboo. You can't talk about it. There's a stigma. And one of the biggest things that I think our recovery committee is trying to do is just break that stigma. Look, we can talk about it. Let's talk about it. We have the resources to fix it. We did our first recovery night. We've done a second recovery night. We'll do a third one this year. I think we're planning on trying to maybe do it in May.
Yeah.
And that's just a yearly thing where we try to bring membership in. We serve them food. We have some speakers. And that's just part of getting that message out,
Good. You talk about the stigma and shit we're not supposed to talk about. We've been on job sites, and I know we all know the story. It's good to tell it on here. Of like, we'll hit a job, and some of the old school construction like superintendents and shit, like, these guys are gonna talk about some shit that's fucking personal. We probably shouldn't do it. Like, you're half cocked from last night, bitch. What the fuck?
Right.
You shut the man,
Right.
motherfucker. I think you need to come have a conversation with us. Let's go talk in the corner.
Yeah.
Because he's fucked up.
I meant, bro, I know exactly what job you're talking about. It was wild. It was definitely, that was a wild one. But it worked out.
Yeah, he basically told us this is a personal issue. So if anyone wants to talk to you, that's fine. But go over there in the corner. And I looked, and it was this dark. It was dark out. Obviously, it was in the morning. This dark ass corner. And
He'll
I'm like,
be over there.
no, like that's what we're trying not to do anymore. Like break that stigma where we have to hide about it, And I get it. Members, people, they're uncomfortable with it at first. They don't want people to know. That's fine. That's why we have the QR code. But you shouldn't have to be, is the point. Like, we should be able, if comfortable, like, we should be able to talk about it out in the open. Like, man,
I mean,
I'm
there's
not right in
one
the
job
head.
site right now that I know of, dude, it is all recovery based, man. I went to that job. The plumbers and pipe fitters out here are killing it with sobriety and mental
they're
health.
killing it, bro.
Mad love to 525 out here, bro. There's a meeting today. They have a great meeting. But one of their job sites is almost, I'm gonna say 80% guys in the program, like guys and girls in the program.
Yeah.
And I thought it was awesome. I walked up, I was like, holy cow, dude, it is cool, man. And like we said, like leadership, the union leadership right now in Vegas, there's quite a few of us, either in sobriety or that are covering mental health, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, man, when guys walk on the job and they see that their actual leadership cares about them as a whole, not the contractor, right? Because a lot of people think that they work for the contractor. They forget that they're part of that they work for the union, and the contractor's their sub, right? So I think, and a lot of the contractors out here, they do take care of the membership, outside of what the
union contractors do.
outside of what the union does, right? They take care of them, give them 2 weeks, they get their paid holidays off and all that. They get a little extra, but the main thing is the union members know now that it's not up to the contractor, that their union actually has a plan that can save their life, right? And I think even for me, like before you and I, or we created this committee, I didn't know anything about MAP. I didn't even know what the word rank and file meant.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what employee assistance program was. I didn't know what member assistance program was. And I think that that's part of our own stigma as leaders, right? To let the membership know, like, we say these weird ass words, But it's our job when we go to those recovery committees, those safety standouts, to let them know, like, these aren't hidden words. These are for you. Rank and file is us. That's what we were in the field, right? Yep. But I think, like, our job now is with the recovery committee. What we do now is we let them know, like, these aren't top secret words. Like, these are words that we can break down for you, and this is what they do, right? And I think even when I was in the field for so long, I literally did not know what rank and file was.
Yeah. Same.
And
I didn't know what the building trades was.
Yeah,
I didn't know what the
and I'll be
FLCAO
honest,
was.
Vince, since I've been agent, right? Like, local 669 is very active, right?
Fuck yeah.
We're a small local, we're very active, but I didn't know what Southern Nevada Building Trades was, and that's
me neither.
And I don't think, I mean, I'm a very active union member before I became who I am now, before I was elected to this position. But, Vince, mad props for what you've done for building trades, for you putting out, what you do for building trades, what building trades does for the membership, what it does for these job sites, all the things that we do. It's just crazy to me to think, like, besides Southern Nevada Building Trades itself, what the membership actually did not know about their own local.
Well, and that's a reflection on leadership.
And I hate it's us. It's us. It's literally us.
It's not
right?
me. It's you guys.
It's a reflection.
It's leadership.
Well, what I mean is not knowing.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
All those years of not knowing is a reflection on leadership,
Past
not
leadership.
fucking teaching the members what we do. Right. And so the goal here, it's crazy to think that there is so much that happens with our organizations that our memberships have no idea about. And it is our job as union leaders, as labor leaders, to educate our membership on what is happening. And the fact that for decades, our membership doesn't know what the building trades are, doesn't know what a PLA is, doesn't know what's in their health insurance, doesn't know how their pension works, is a reflection on the poor leadership of the leaders that came before us,
Yes.
right? It is our job now that we are in this position to remember and understand, because I understand it's easy. We get lost in what we're doing, and we're just doing what we're doing. And we're like, the members will figure it out. They won't figure it out unless we teach them.
Yeah,
we have to teach them, right? And forever, my job as a union leader is to improve the lives of my members and their families. And typically we do that through contract negotiations. The best way to improve my member's life is to make sure he gets more money. The best way to improve my member's life is to make sure he has health insurance, is to make sure his working conditions are done. But what we have forgotten, in my opinion, is the person, right? The human being that my member is. And it doesn't matter if we negotiate the greatest contract and conditions. If they are then going home and taking their own lives, we have failed. We have failed as leaders addressing the real problems and issues of our members. When my member is in the hospital, I go to the hospital and I visit my member. You know what I mean? Because that's the human being that's there. And union leaders, I think, historically, we have done a very poor job at connecting with our membership on a human level. Yeah. And that's what this committee does. And what's crazy is the building trades has lots of committees, right? We have the apprenticeship committee that's focusing on making sure our apprenticeships are growing, right? We have the organizing committee that's making sure that, our members are getting the hours and we're organizing markets. We have the women's committee to make sure that the women within our ranks are getting a fair shot and are getting the hours that they deserve. Typically, everything is about hours and growing. This committee is about saving lives. That is it. There's no dues that come to this committee. There's no money. This committee is solely focused on saving lives. And that's why I love it so much.
This is the most expensive committee.
Yeah. We blow some money, bro.
I started talking about money. I'm like,
we're like Darren Waller. Let's pay for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Max Crosby, let's pay for that.
No.
But you can't put a price tag on saving
You can't put a
someone's life.
price on.
And I think all the business managers and the e-board understood that whenever you brought that to them, right?
At first we didn't. And then you did. I was like, fuck, because I wasn't sober. I was like, what the fuck you mean, dude? How much? And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, bro. This event was like $50,000, like $65,000. And I was like, what's the return on investment on this shit? You're like, it's a life. Not knowing that I was going to be the one who got fucking saved.
It was your life.
Well, me and a couple guys. There was a couple guys that came out sober after that fucking first recovery meeting.
And even if you think about it, like, with the District Council 16, how we have a union meeting there, or we have an AA meeting there, a 12-step program, and then 525 has one. And I'm going to tell you right now, man, I go to the 525 meeting on Sundays, bro, and that started because of the recovery committee. Dope. That meeting started because of that, right? They opened their doors at their hall because of that. And I'm going to tell you right now, that meeting right along with ours, is capturing lives, whether it's union members or just normal people in sobriety, like in life. You know, they show up to that hall. It's a union hall, right? They show up to your union hall. They show up to 525s, and it is changing people's lives, man. It is insane, man.
It's crazy the comparison, the similarities. Like, you know, I've been sober for 14 years, and the recovery community is exactly what we want our union membership to be.
Yeah.
When you are involved in that recovery community and I get a flat tire on the side of the road, there is 20 people I can call that will drop everything to come help me. That's what unionism needs to be. That's how we need to treat our union brothers and sisters. And we've lost that in our trades. And if we can somehow manage to combine those types of communities, it's just going to make our union stronger. It's going to make our membership stronger.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, dude. It's the numbers are crazy to see. Like, and again, dude, the numbers of like the it's a cycle, right? And I didn't realize it until I started doing the work with you guys, where it's like, well, we got to get to the root of the problem. Why did these thoughts happen in our heads, right? What causes us to overdo it? And I had a conversation with a guy who's a general contractor yesterday. He called me on a Saturday. We were supposed to go to the punk rock fucking museum. And we were talking about different things, and one of the things I told him was like about work, right? And I was like, he's like, dude, there's nothing on the fucking backlog. I'm getting worried. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, that's when the mental health problems start. Then once the mental health problems start, then the drinking starts, because you fucking feel like shit because you can't provide for your family, whether you're a man or a woman. None of that fucking matters.
Right.
If you're the sole provider and you don't have work tomorrow, or you don't know when the fuck you're going to be able to be on the next big job, you start to fucking stress. You start to worry. Are you going to have to fucking boom out? You're going to have to travel for work. What's next? You know, who's going to take my kids to school if I have to travel? What happens now? Like like life starts fucking lifing. That's the part you really can't just suck up, right? You're just you try to figure it out. So then you start fucking drinking or using or whatever your vice is. And then next thing you know,
to shut this thing up.
Yes. And then next thing you know, dude, when that doesn't work or whatever, motherfuckers kill themselves, right? Or something. And it's like, I used to think that that's like a weak way out, bro. And me and Keith talked very little about it, but like suicide's a big fucking deal, bro. And some people, there's help out there. And I don't know enough to speak on it, but I know enough to know that the root of the problem is when you feel like you can't provide or protect your family or something, that's when the fucking shit starts going.
It's an option.
Yeah. And
Well,
it's
it's
not
an option.
good.
And you generally, you know, you feel like your family would be better off if you're not here.
Some people think that, bro.
When that thought starts creeping in, that's dangerous.
And that's wrong.
Right. It's not true.
I don't know, and not to fucking, sorry.
No.
But it's like, I don't know how many people have called me. I can't even tell you, because I used to keep track, like, oh, I helped this guy, I helped this guy. Then you just don't give a fuck anymore, because you're like, I can't believe I've helped this many people.
Right.
Not in a negative way. It's just like, you're just here to provide the service. But I had one guy call me with a gun in his fucking lap, bro, crying, the whole nine. And he's like, he said something along those lines of like, my family would be better off without me. And I said, are you really ready to have another man walk your daughter down the aisle? Are you really ready to have your daughters around a fucking stranger? Because your wife's going to remarry, motherfucker. Like, whether you like it or not, she could say no. You don't have a choice anymore. What the fuck is wrong with you? And again, I'm not the professional. We've done some trainings and stuff. But when you start, I was trying to like use logic and emotion both, bro. And it's hard, because you're like, no, motherfucker, like, your family is not better off here without you. You are fucking wrong. You are being selfish. You're only thinking about yourself, because even if your wife leaves you or anything else, you still need to be there for your little girls, dude. These are your daughters. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And you start going in on them. And again, we're construction workers. Some people are like, oh, you shouldn't talk to him that way. You need to be nurturing. Like, no, dude, some people need that. And you could feel it. And it was my boy, dude. He was
it just depends on who you're talking to, right? Like, you know that's your boy, right? Yeah. And that whenever I've been to some training, man, and we used every wrong word in this podcast right now.
Right.
100%.
According to them, right?
Yes.
But according to us, being construction workers, you know, this is the deal, right? If I don't know the guy, he's going to have to call the program, right? He's going to have to, I'm going to shoot him the QR code. But listen, if he's a member of mine and I know the guy, we're going to talk it out.
Yes.
I'm going to tell him about the situation that I had with my brother. You know what I mean? Nobody deserves to make their fucking own brothers earn.
No shit.
Nobody deserves to do that, and I had to do that, you know. And I lost my brother with suicide, and I tried everything I could, you know. And truth be told, it's tough, you know. And but nobody, and that's the first thing I can say is nobody deserves to design their own family, their own union brother, their own union sister's urn, or be at their grave, dude. Nobody deserves that. And there's a way out. There really, truly is, man. I didn't think there was a way out. I never believed, dude. Listen, I was incarcerated. I did a little under 4 years in the penitentiary, and I thought that that's where I belonged.
Yeah.
That's where my head made me believe that I belonged, right? Until I got into a program, right?
Yeah.
And I got, you know, my whole life changed, and now I can see myself in the position I'm in, helping members, you know, on a podcast. This is something so wild if you step back and look at me 16 years ago. You know what I mean? Living in a concrete cell with a chrome toilet. You know, I'm on a podcast with Southern Nevada Building Trades, right?
Yeah.
Like this is the I get to reap the benefits of helping another member.
Yeah.
You know?
And to that point, we were all there. We helped somebody we didn't even know. Remember? Mm-hmm. And we didn't use those. I wasn't like, suck it up, bitch. Like,
right.
No, it wasn't like that, bro.
How do we get this guy there? We called everybody,
bro,
like from one person to another to another.
Dude.
Yeah.
A stranger came to us and told us, bro. And I'll never forget, dude. I think we all were there. Dude was like, I feel like you guys were sent from God. I was like, bro, just like, bro, no. And he's like,
This
no.
was at a safety stand down?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Yeah. He broke down crying, bro. After everybody left,
Right.
he did wait till in respect.
Fine, yeah.
Whatever. And we helped him out, bro. We fucking helped him out. We got him the help he needed. He texted me the other day, told me him and his family are in therapy and they're fucking thriving. Dude was gonna kill himself the night before. Dude thought about killing himself, like, legitimately.
And he was just a
ain't my
rank and
friend
file
or nothing,
member.
just
Yeah.
a member.
Yeah, he was just a member.
Well, and I mean, it's crazy. You know, we talk about this at the safety stand downs, but like when someone dies on the job, you know, there's a tragedy. Obviously, the iron worker passed away at the Bellagio Fountains, right? It happens in our industry. And it's a somber moment. The industry almost shuts down. Everyone knows, every GC, every sub, the word gets around, oh my gosh, you know, an iron worker or a laborer, someone passed away on this job site. They fell, they got crushed, they got cut, something happens, and everyone like stops for at least a moment and goes, damn. You know, we try to avoid that at all costs. You know, you see the signs everywhere. You know, make sure everyone who's walking in is walking out. The number one priority is that you go home to your family every day after work, right? I mean, that's always the goal. But we're dying at 6 times that by suicide.
At home.
And we don't even hear about it. It's like, how are there 6 times as many deaths by suicide than on the job? And there's not like everyone doesn't stop and go, how do we prevent this from happening again? OSHA doesn't get called and analyze the situation to make sure it doesn't happen. We just kind of forget about it and move on. You know, no one even really knows about it. And so when you look at those statistics, when you think about, man, for every job site death, 6 of us are taking our own lives, and we don't have a fraction of the resources put towards stopping those deaths as we do the job site ones. Now, obviously, yes, the most important thing when you go to work is that you make it home. But after you make it home, how are you going to make it back to work?
Yeah.
Who's putting the resources in to make sure you make it back to work and you're not taking your own life or overdosing at home?
And how many people are happy they get to go to work? How many times you've been in a dark place at home where you're fighting with the family or something?
That's the relief.
Yes, you're like, fuck it. Bro, if you're going to work to get relief from home,
You probably should call the program.
Yeah, dude. 988. Call that number.
And people ask all the time, like, well, what is it? Is it the construction industry that is making us sick? Or is it sick people that are being attracted to the construction industry? And it's like, who knows, right? I don't know how you dice those up, but there's something there, right? There is, when we're at the top of the industries for these types of problems, it doesn't really matter why, right? Okay, I mean, you can try and figure it out and fix it, but ultimately, what are the resources that we can provide to make this stop, to fix it? You know what I mean? And I think our committee is committed to fixing it one life at a time. I mean, you think if we save, you know, one person, it's all worth it.
I mean, and then you think about what 357's doing out here. You know what I mean? Like, they created their own 12.
They have a recovery meeting.
Their own local created their own committee, you know, off of the recovery committee from the building trades.
Yeah.
And it's an open meeting.
Yeah.
It's an open discussion meeting of mental health, substance abuse, crack,
right,
gambling, it's all of it, because they want to get out to their membership. And that was created because of this committee,
Yeah.
right? Let's be honest. That committee from 357 IBW out here was created because of building trades of the recovery committee. And I think they're doing well too.
Yeah, and so now I know the laborers. So if we just run down it, at the Painters Hall, there's a 12-step meeting every Thursday at 5:30. The plumbers and pipe fitters have a 12-step meeting every Sunday at their hall. IBW now is doing them twice a month, recovery meetings at their hall. I know the laborers, I think monthly, are doing like a peer-to-peer support group at their hall. And it's like, man.
And 433's been doing one, I guess, for years.
I heard that too. Yeah.
For years. Like they have a meeting.
Oh, yeah.
They have a 12-step meeting prior to their union meeting at their hall as well.
And so it's like, I mean, when you look at something like that, it's like, okay, things are happening, right? Things are happening. And, what I also say is we are giving back the children of building trades members. We're giving them back their moms and dads.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's incredible, right? There is no better work. Like when, we have, as business agents and union leaders, like we have a lot that we have to do that the members just don't know about. And we educate them, let's educate them, but there's just so much. There's, we're doing contracts, we're doing wage schedules, we're doing grievances, we're going. For me personally, the work I do with the recovery committee is the most satisfying and fulfilling work that I do as a labor leader, bar nothing else. Like a head and shoulders above everything else. It's just so incredible.
Bro, go ahead. No, I was going to say, dude, it's a blessing, the shit that we've been able to accomplish, bro. And it's not, to see it stem is all from you two. You guys keep saying like, oh, building trades. Like, yes, you guys are building trades, but this shit doesn't happen without you two guys, straight up. And I don't want to turn this into a fucking circle jerk.
Well, now we're going to have to edit that out. You can't
scoot over. You can say circle jerk. You can say circle jerk.
Can we
it's
say
a name
so?
of
You're making it a longer edit.
but with the whole building trades is giving building trades kids their moms and dads back. That's a fucking fact.
Yeah.
I've shared that in the recovery meetings and all that shit. I'm gonna start fucking crying, dude, because that's real shit. I didn't realize how being sober just didn't help my job, but helped that in my home life and my personal life. Because I said this a million times, dude, and I would treat my kids like they were first year apprentices. Nothing they could do was good enough. They were always fucking, oh my God, like, let's go fucking clean something. And I would treat them like shit, bro, straight the fuck up. Not knowing, I thought I was raising them. I thought that you don't realize how the fuck you raise your kids the way you were raised. And then what you learn in working the program and getting sober and doing all the things was like, holy fuck, dude, you learn forgiveness too. You let go. I used to, my people, you always hear like, oh, my parents, it's my life is fucked up because my parents, like, bro, once you learn forgiveness, that goes away and you feel good inside. It's like a spiritual fucking uplift. And then you look at your kids and then you're like, holy fuck, dude, I've been treating my kids badly. Like, without even knowing, you just think you're trying to raise them the way you did, right? Like strict and like, hey, no, my kids are polite. They have manners. No, your kids are fucking scared of you, motherfucker. Like you're trying to rule with an iron fist. And I'm not here to rape. Everyone raise their kids the way they fucking want. But it took, when I got sober, I was like, holy fuck, dude, this is a game changer. Like my son's not learning
everything.
And I even talk to apprentices differently.
Yeah.
I talk to everybody fucking differently, despite what people think.
I am a new man.
And what's crazy too is I just talked to someone a couple days ago, organizer within the building trades. He's doing an interview with a judge, right? Because political season is coming. And,
yeah.
And the judge is like, well, how can we help your members? And it's a little difficult when it's judges, right? Because they're just, following the law. They're supposed to just, enforce the law. And he said, like, hey, if one of our members comes in front of you with an issue, like a substance issue or something, like, don't lock them up. Give them back to us. We have programs that can help them. And he started going through what the recovery committee does. And the judge was like, man, can I get a panel of judges in front of you so you can tell them that? And he's setting it up right now to where there's going to be a panel of judges. We get the recovery committee in front of them to let the judges know, like, locking them up and taking them away from how they make money and putting these charges on them doesn't help them. You are making the problem worse.
Yes.
Yeah, because they're going to get out and do the same thing.
But if the judges know that there is a alternative to that there is an organization or a program that they can send them to, and they have their unions, which are linked to their employment, advocating for them with programs that work, It spills. It spills into the political issues that we do.
Funding and state. It takes away from state funding, all that. Like it's our funding. It's not theirs.
Right. We are doing it. Our members are funding it themselves. It's a group of people who are looking out for each other, which is what the unions have always been. Is a group of workers who collectively come together and look out for one another. And that is what we need to get back to. And I think the vehicle that gets us there is this committee. And it just makes me super excited even talking about it. Like,
that's cool. I didn't even know.
Yeah. No, that's coming. You're going to get an email. It's coming. you will be there because I already put your name in there. So, and that's what we're going to do. And you know what? When it comes to these types of things, we show up. We show up.
Yeah,
we
do.
It.
And that's the truth.
I mean, when we have the general contractors reaching out to us,
yes, dude.
saying, hey, come to our job. We do one and like, wow, that's great. We need you to come back next month. Oh, we have another job over here. We want you. I mean, we're the ones getting invited. At first, we were kind of like reaching out, trying to find job sites we can get to. We did one or two of them. It's over. That's a wrap. Now
that's
they
what
want
I'm saying
us.
Is Bombard literally, they literally called me.
Yeah.
This main safety guy reached out and he was like, hey, I was at the safety stand down over at Desert Fires Company and I'd really appreciate, because they have plumbers, pipe fitters, electricians, and tin knockers.
Yeah.
So they'll have all three contractors, unions, 3 unions there, and they want us there. So.
And you know what? Shout out Penta.
Penta,
right?
Bro, yeah, Tony's been doing really good helping us out. Dude.
They've been letting us, hey, you can put your banners wherever you want, put your information wherever you want. They're the ones inviting us to all these jobs. They want us in front of the workers on their job sites, and that's what we need. We need the partnership with these GCs because they recognize the issues too. They see
They're
it.
the ones that see it. They're there. They see it. They see the members not showing, and that's the thing too. Like, just for anyone watching, the deal is like we as normal human beings, right? We can see this. We can see when someone stops showing up to work. We can see when someone's wearing dark sunglasses when it's dark outside. We can see this, right? It's our job as union members, as brothers and sisters, to ask them. Pull them aside, man. When you're walking down the steps from parking. Hey, man, is everything all right? How's everything going at home? Eventually, they're gonna open up. Yeah. Or they're going to find someone that they're closer to that they can open up to. That's the thing is for years we've been pushing that aside. Oh, yeah, he's wearing dark sunglasses. He always wears them. No, there's a reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason that we're wearing dark sunglasses, right? There's a reason we quit showing up to work. There's a reason we're missing Mondays and Fridays. Those aren't typical holidays. You know what I mean?
And that can happen to anybody. I mean, I remember I worked with a guy once. Very religious person, right? Very religious, straight edge, never did anything wrong, never went to jail, probably never got a ticket, right? And he got hurt on the job, hurt his back, hurt his something, goes to the doctor, trust the medical system, right? The doctor says, hey, this is what you need. He wasn't realizing that he would get super sick once a month to where he had to leave work and he didn't know why, like, gosh, I'm so sick. And another worker said, aren't you on those painkillers?
Withdrawing.
And he's like, well, yeah, but I needed extra ones. I'm out. And he's like, yeah, you're dope sick, man.
You're withdrawing.
And he didn't even know. He finally realized, oh my gosh, every time I run out of my painkillers, I get sick. And he became super addicted, passing out in the truck, passing out in the meetings. And he didn't do it on purpose. He wasn't some drug addict, right? He wasn't some, piece of shit person. It just happened to him. And in our industry, one of the reasons why we got Darren Waller and Max Crosby our very first recovery night was because of the correlation between construction workers and athletes. Now, we all think we're all athletes. I am an athlete.
We're industrial
and I pass
athletes.
those athletes on to my children who are now super athletes.
The one, dude, bro.
Just saying. But like, if you're a glazer and you're up on that building and you're the one catching the panel or you're the one calling the crane, that's your job. And you got it locked in. If you miss a week because you're hurt and someone else comes in and does that job better, you have lost your job.
You lost your starting spot.
That is like losing your starting spot in sports. And so our members work through the pain for multiple reasons. One, they don't want someone to replace them. Two, the job's only another 2 months. There's not another job on the books after this one. I got to get my money now. I can't be sick or I can't be out because of pain. So what do? You eat some painkillers and you go to work. And that is one of the biggest issues that we see, right? And even in this town, gambling. I used to remember being an apprentice, working with a journeyman. We would get our paychecks on Friday. We would do check pool. This is back when we had paper checks. Right?
Numbers, right?
You're doing check pool, and then every Friday, everyone's taking that paper check, and we're going to the bar. We're going to the casino. Whatever one was closest to the job. That's where we met, and because they would give us free slot play or a free drink, right? And I used to remember Monday morning showing up as an apprentice and my journeyman being like, hey, can you loan me like $100? Like, man, we just got paid on Friday. Lost it all, right? And if you want to talk about some mental health problems,
Yeah.
lose your fucking paycheck every week. And that is a problem that happens that's not talked about enough, particularly in this town.
Vince says it all the time. Like we literally get a job to work ourselves out of a job. That's
Right.
why we get it.
Yeah.
Like that's what we're doing. We're literally there to work ourselves out of a job.
And if you
what
think-
happens when we work ourselves out of a job? We're hoping there's another one.
Yep.
Right? Or we're hoping that we have unemployment enough to survive until we can get another one or get on the road, whatever it is.
Right.
And that's where it all starts, is between our ears.
It's just such a huge issue. And I don't know. I love you guys. I'm very proud of what we've kind of been able to accomplish so far, and I cannot wait to see where this thing goes. You know, we all have our busy seasons, right? Typically, like contract. You know, when contracts are up, we get super busy. Certain things happen, and we get super busy. And so there's the ebbs and flows. And I know that this recovery committee, we just need to kind of keep it on the forefront.
Another
and
thing
keep
too,
going.
like even the test site, they want us out there on the test
Yep.
site, right? We just got an email from them. I
Oh,
mean, they
yeah,
literally,
preach.
they literally want us out there. They're like asking us times and dates and how we're gonna get badged and all this, right? I mean, it's amazing what it does.
And so, I mean, if you're a member, right, and you're listening to this podcast, and you think that you have a problem, or there's been something rattling around in your brain, I hope you know that there's help out there, that there are resources. If you call I'm pretty confident that any building trades union, if a member reaches out to their business agent, regardless of what craft it is, what affiliate, they know exactly who to contact.
Guaranteed.
All the reps, all the organizers, the leadership within the building trades understands how important the recovery committee, and we have drilled it in their heads. Not all of them understood at first, but they understand now because we are not stopping. You know what I mean?
And even if you guys, if you're someone watching or listening right now, like even you can go right to the SouthernNevadaBuildingTrades.com. It's going to bring you right there. Go to the recovery committee, click on it. Then you don't have to tell your agent, your organizer, anyone.
true.
You don't have to tell the guy you're working to nothing. Just go on snbtu.com, click on it. It's going to bring you right there. Nobody knows shit. They're not going to know anything. So and that's, I hate to say it, but you know, a lot of us we're trying to open it up, but a lot of people aren't there yet, right?
That's right.
And I'm totally cool with that. You don't have to be there, but just know that we have something for you. Your local SMBTU, we all have something there for you, bro. And my phone's always on. Dan's phone's on. Vince's phone's on. But that's what I think. That's the reason we did the podcast. Let the rank and file, the membership know, and also the union leaders. Like, hey, if you're not participating,
Get out of the way.
yeah, get.
That's it.
Look, put
easy.
your dress shoes back on,
Right.
And we'll keep our boots. And we'll represent the membership, but
right.
let us handle it. Like the truth is that's what we do. We want to make sure that we're saving everyone's life, like just not my local, not your local. We want to save everyone's lives.
Yeah, bro. And again, we're not trying to get people sober.
No,
right?
no.
People think the recovery
No.
committee is us trying to get them sober. No.
Right.
We're trying, if you have a mental health issue, that doesn't mean you have a drinking issue or
Correct.
a drug using issue. It's a mental health issue.
Right. And it's very hard to separate those things, right? And so, like, yeah, we talk about recovery and we talk about being sober and we talk about mental health. There are people that have mental health issues, underlying mental health issues that are forcing them to use,
That
right?
need medication.
Yes.
I'm not a doctor that tells you need that, but we have doctors that specifically can prescribe you to what's going to save your fucking life.
And then there's people that have substance abuse issues that have now given themselves a mental health issue, right?
Yes.
They're just tied together. And so maybe you have one, maybe you have both. But regardless of if you have one or both, there's help, you know?
And if you don't have our numbers, 988.
Yes,
Yep.
988's a hot. Like,
988.
that is a super hot, man. I mean, honestly, you can call it. It's every language.
Yeah.
Click on whatever language you're speaking. You know what I mean, and give it a shot.
I fucking love you guys, man. I
Love
love
you guys.
this fucking podcast. I love my job. I love this fucking building trades. I love Pete. Thank you,
Pete, shout out Green Apple Studios.
Green
No.
Apple, come take a bite.
Ooh. Clip it.
Yeah, bro.
right,
Right on.
But once again, man, it's this is not about sobriety. This is about letting the membership know, like there is somebody that cares about you. You don't have to go home and be miserable. You don't have to go to the bar every day. You don't have to go home and kick the dog, treat the wife like shit. You know, you can actually be a normal human being. I don't know what normal is,
Right.
but you can be.
Let's go back to paper checks.
Yeah.
And cashing our checks at fucking Texas Station.
Check pool.
Remember you'd get fucking points and you'd spin the wheel? I don't know if you guys ever cashed your check at the
No.
Stations Casino.
It was Wild Wild
You had a
West
player's
for me.
card.
That's where everyone.
Wild Wild
Fuck that,
West.
bro. No, I
Yes.
wasn't ghetto enough to go there, bro. Fuck that.
Dude, that's Ironworkers created that bar. What are you talking about?
Rest in peace, Wild Wild
Yes.
West.
Yeah,
dude.
rest in peace, fucking Texas Station. We got to do like a vintage Vegas. Like, bro, we should try to get Vegas Pauly C. You ever see that ball, dude? Oh, bro, we'll look him up. Oh, Brett Harris. Let's get Brett Harris,
Yeah.
Labor Commissioner.
Labor commissioner. Yeah, next.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That'd be awesome.
we're getting the sign to wrap up.
Yep.
The fucking cameras are getting hot. Sun is now up. Roosters are crowing.
I got my coffee in me, so I'm good to go.
Fuck yeah, bro. Thank you guys, man. Keith,
Thank you guys for
Love you
inviting
guys.
me, man. GangboX.
GangboX Podcast. We'll see you next time.
We'll see
See
you
you
next
guys
time.
later.
Yep.